Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Lisa Renee TV. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Make sure to do so today before you leave. Make sure to thumbs up the video if you do like what you see, and to share on all your social media networks that you happen to be on this time. Hello and welcome back. Any newbies to the channel, hello. I'm so happy to have you. You have joined the livest channel and the livest crew, the flavor crew, on YouTube and on the internet, period. So welcome. I welcome you, and I hope that you do find something to be inspired by today. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm sure you have by now, if you have not. But about this pastor, it's going around the internet. It started on Twitter, now it's completely viral. Okay, so Pastor David E. Wilson of the Bible Way Ministries and World Outreach Incorporated was caught on video, wait for it, engaging in cunnilingus with a woman who was not his wife. Let me rewind. If you did not hear me, he was caught on video engaging in cunnilingus or oral sex on a woman who is not his wife. Okay, so this came out yesterday. Well, I saw it yesterday. So, I mean, everybody is pretty much going berserk, just like, oh my God, I can't believe this man of God, this holy man of God is engaging in an adulterous affair, basically, and live online. He has filmed it, and someone, like, not him, but maybe the woman herself, like, someone has released it. They're trying to figure out who released it. I saw a YouTube video, another YouTuber did a video about it, and from what I heard, it was like someone, a parishioner at the church, like somebody who goes to the church. Apparently there was some sort of quarrel about she wasn't allowed to do a certain thing in church that she wanted to do, and she felt like it was unfair, so it was like a way of getting back at the pastor, and it was like craziness. So I think it was like, maybe not, I think it wasn't her, but it was like somebody she knew. So anyway, they're trying to figure out, like, okay, well, who released this video? And first of all, the biggest thing they're trying to figure out is it even the pastor? Because his family is under the impression that it's not really him, and they really don't know, like, what's going on. Is this whole thing a hoax? So they're trying to figure out, like, is this even really real? And is there anything to be upset about? The pastor himself, of course, has not spoken. He has not come out and said anything about it. I mean, can you imagine how he's feeling right now? Like, what in the world? Like, if it's true, he trying to figure out, am I going to have a congregation tomorrow? Tomorrow Sunday, he trying to figure out, like, I'm going to be preaching to a bunch of empty pews. I don't know what's about to happen to me. I did see comments online. Some people were like, if this is true, we want him out, so he's already kind of losing supporters. So it's not looking good for the pastor, unfortunately. His family spoke to heavy.com, stating they don't know if said video is real, and whoever it is spreading it, trying to become rich off of his name. His daughter made a statement as well. And she said, she made a statement on Facebook. She said, sometimes we unknowingly share our names with complete strangers, but that does not mean we share the same mission or faith. An explanation point on that. I'm the daughter of the great Dr. David E. Wilson. This other David E. Wilson is a man who just so happens to share the same name as him. Period. So she's not having any of it, as you can see. She's not going for this mess, okay? So his family, I'm glad that he has his family support, because he's going to need it, if they find out that this might be true. Now, so it was shared on Twitter. I got this, I'm getting my information from lovebscott.com. So yeah, he's a pastor, and he's been pastoring for over 40 years in Texarkana, Texas. So he's been pastor for over 40 years. I think he has like a consulting business as well. So yeah, so he has a huge ministry. He does a lot of work. So do I think it's true? Like I'm having this feeling like, now I saw the video. I don't know if you all saw the video. Now if you're looking for the video, like, I don't know if they drop stuff like this on my channel, but if you're looking for the video, if you just want to see this video, it's like a real short clip. It's like literally 1 minute long. You have to go to like the nudie sites. Like, it's not gonna be on a basic site, like, of course, because it's technically porn. So yeah, you gotta go to like Pornhub or something to see it. Or if you like Google it, it will like it should pop up for you. So Pornhub, or I think there's another site that it's on, something called X videos or something. So it's like, yeah, because I know a lot of people were like trying to look for the video, like, where's the video at? Where's the video? You know, because our natural curiosity is like, well, let me see, you know, like, what's the pastor getting into, you know? So you know, but yeah, it was only you know, just 1 minute long. So of course I'm gonna watch it. I had to watch it because I had to see for myself, like, does it look like this pastor? And the guy I saw in the video has a striking resemblance to the pastor. Like, you know, yeah, it kind of looked like it might be him. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say it's him, because, I mean, everything is alleged right now, so we don't really know. I'm not going to sit here and, like, crucify this man and say, I know for sure it's him. I don't know. I wasn't her, so, hey, he didn't do nothing for me, so I don't know. I can't tell you whether or not, if he did do something for me, I wouldn't tell you. Like, not my job, you know, to tell you whether or not it was him. But anyway, nevertheless, that's the story. What do you guys think about, you know, pastors who are caught in these acts and things like that? I mean, should we give them grace, mercy, clearance, you know? I think so. I mean, I think sometimes we often forget that my grandfather was a pastor, so I totally have a heart for pastors. I think pastors are awesome, and they have such a tough job, and, you know, it's a lot on their shoulders. But I think sometimes we often forget that pastors are humans too, and they are allowed to make mistakes. They are allowed to be human. Like, I mean, pastors are not, you know, without sex drive or without error, or, you know, like, I mean, they're without fragility or, you know, fallibility. I mean, they're going to make the same kind of mistakes that we, you know, make as just normal churchgoers. So don't take for granted that because he's a pastor, you know, he's going to be put on a pedestal, and he should be put on a pedestal to a higher degree than everybody else. I mean, kind of, sort of, but not really. You know, we often times do that to human beings. We do the same with celebrities. Like, please stop holding humans. You can't hold any human to a high standard, you know, and put them so high up, you know, and say this person must never mess up or make a mistake. You must apply grace to everyone. Everyone deserves grace, love, forgiveness, and mercy, you know. And it's your job to love everyone equally. You know, God did not he didn't ask you to judge nobody. I mean, that's his job. He didn't ask you to judge nobody or try to send nobody to hell or nothing like that. You know, this is why you cannot, you know, you can't do this. You know, God doesn't want you doing that, because you all are on the same level. It doesn't matter how much money somebody makes or what kind of ministry they have. At the end of the day, you're just a human. Okay? So the person, I mean, everybody gonna make the same kind of mistake. So it happens. You know, just like something like that could happen to me, it could happen to him. You know, I mean, nobody's exempt. So I think that just happened to show that nobody is exempt from life happening to them. So, food for thought. Anyway, speaking of ministers who are just like everybody else, let's talk quickly about the cussing pastor. Yes, here's another pastor who gets me going, I swear. Oh man, the cussing pastor, Thaddeus Matthews. He's a controversial pastor from Memphis. All right, so Mr. Thaddeus Matthews, okay. Now, I remember seeing a clip of him like some time ago, and I was like, well, that's different, you know. So he's known as the cussing pastor, and he don't really mind that you call him the cussing pastor. I think he calls himself that. He got a blog post and everything, you know, titled The Cussing Pastor. So he, like, back in February, he held a twerking contest. Yeah, I said twerking, at his church gymnasium. That's right. The girls are popping, dropping like it's hot on church grounds at his gymnasium. And he basically told any critics of it, you. That's right. He said, you. If you had anything to say that was against what he was doing, okay? So he said to the Christian Post, he said he doesn't consider his messages swearing, nor his unorthodox ministry offensive to God. How about that? So he doesn't really feel like none of that it ain't really fazing him. He's unfazed by all of this. Okay, so he basically, his mission is not to reach a traditional churchgoer because he knows that he roused the feathers of traditional churchgoers. He's not looking to reach them, but he is looking to reach like the average everyday person. These are his words. Like, he's not really trying to reach the average churchgoer. So, I was looking on ChristianPost.com where he did his interview. And the twerking contest, it came from an event that he started called Soulful Sundays. Happens every Sunday in the gym from 3 to 6 p.m. Okay, so just something he does. And where they have clean adult fun. That's all he was doing. Okay, so it's kind of harmless pretty much. Okay, and he says, what does he say? He says, you can't clean a fish until you catch it. And you can't catch a fish till you go where it's at. I'm not trying to attract the traditional church goer, but those in the streets that need to hear a word from God to make a difference in their lives. And Naked Truth, I love that name, by the way. And Naked Truth, I don't care about your son of choice. I just want to know that I want you to know that no matter who you are, God loves you and I welcome you. Matthews wrote in a recent Instagram post where he explained his after church events. So, I know that my post about my Soulful Sundays, which are held here in my gymnasium here at the church, is upsetting some of you traditional church folk. Oh Lord, he going to hell. Why are they doing that in the church? Matthews continued mimicking his critics. Why is it, this is when he goes off, why is it with your fake phony asses that you believe that because you love God that you cannot enjoy life? That's the BS from the pulpit that you've been taught for years. There is nothing wrong and you enjoying yourself and enjoying life, and we have good, clean adult fun each and every Sunday evening. Not in my sanctuary, but in my gym here in Memphis at the Naked Truth Liberation and Empowerment Ministries. So, if you're mad, get over it, because this is something. It's a new day and a new thing, and we're trying to save those who are lost, he said. Okay, so I personally, like how I feel about it, I do think he is an acquired taste. Clearly, he's a very, very much an acquired taste. That's an understatement. I think that he's different. He's a different pastor than the pastors I was used to knowing when I was growing up, and the pastors that we fellowship with. Like, he's nothing like them. Like, he's entirely a different kind of pastor, So I've never seen a pastor like him before, and I think maybe that's what we need. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I mean, maybe y'all surprised to hear me say that, but I think sometimes you need somebody to come in who's not afraid to shake it up a little bit, because I think sometimes we are so caught up in like religion and customs and like who's going to hell and all this kind of stuff, and sending people to hell and judging people, and really that's what it all amounts to, is good old fashioned judgment. You're just judging the next person. You want to be trying to help somebody or whatever, but all you're doing is really just casting your judgment onto them instead of trying to love them and pray for them and, kind of see them through and try to help them out of that broken state that they're in. You're just casting down judgment onto them, which is something that you're not supposed to be doing, that God does not want you doing at all. So basically people who already feel like a misfit and they already feel like I don't belong in church, God doesn't love me, I'm not wanted, you make them feel more of that. And then you call it holy and you call it righteous, and you feel like I am doing something that is pleasing to God by telling these people that they are disgusting, and God basically, thinks nothing of them. And it's like, you may not use those words exactly, but you are saying that and you're conveying that type of message. And that is not right, okay? And that is not fair. okay, and it's not proper, okay, and that's not being a good Christian. You're not being a good Christian by making other Christians or making other would-be Christians feel like ostracized or feel inferior to you. You know, if your Christianity is like so big that it makes somebody else feel small, there's a problem. Like, you need a check, you know. And if, you know, if you're humble enough, the Holy Spirit will check you and let you know, excuse me, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that, you know. We're not at all. Now, if you read in the Bible, if you read in, I'm trying to think of what the chapter is exactly, you might have to Google it. Please do. You know, because I'm just a human. And, you know, hey, I don't know the chapter up by heart. And you may judge me for that, and I don't care. You know, but if you look at, like, the different missions and circumstances that Jesus and the disciples were on, if you notice how the disciples, their behaviors weren't they judgmental a little bit of people? Like, there was a blind man that they were passing, and they didn't think Jesus needed to bother with this man, but Jesus felt differently. There was like, there was another instance where it was someone else there. I don't know if it was like the woman with the issue of blood, or that there was some. It was something else. It was involving a woman, and they felt like he didn't really, you know, he shouldn't bother with that person. Or no, there was a time when they were trying to get like demons out of a group of people, and the disciple basically asked God, like, well, why didn't it work when we did it? And he was basically telling them, like, you lack, you know, faith, you know, in that instance. So yeah, it's like, when you're not, when you're so caught up in like yourself, you're so caught up in judgment, you know, you're going to miss the mark, you know, because you're going to get in your own way. You know, I mean, you can save so many souls, you can bring so many people to Christ, but if you are in the way and you're so caught up in your own head and you have this bias and this idea of where the person comes from, and you know I don't hang with her. Like, oh, you from where? Oh no, you know, when you're doing that, it's like, you know, like you're not gonna be able to be used by God, you know, adequately. You know, you're not going to be a good vessel. It's just, you know, a good utensil. Like, it's just not going to be great for you. You know, you're not going to do all the powerful work that you could be doing, you know, and like you could if you would open your spirit up, just open yourself up, open your heart, and be a little bit more loving. So I think that's what this man is trying to do. All he's trying to do is love on people who have never felt love before, you know, or who, when people told him they love him, it was just to get something out of him. So I think that's what he's doing. If he's doing that and he bringing souls to Christ, I have no problem with what he's doing. Like, I really don't care. Let him cuss on. You know, he pops them off occasionally. Hey, you know, it happens. You know, but I'm not too, you know, moved by that, because, you know, underneath all of that, there's a bigger motivation, you know, there's a method to his madness, you know, so to speak, you know. So he's like, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm trying to bring people in. So if he's accomplishing things by having a little twerking, a little dancing, you know, they have a drink or two, you know, and it's good, clean fun. Nobody's drugging, nobody's doping, nobody's shooting. Work on, you know. I like to work it anyway. I mean, I use it for exercise, and it's fun, you know. So yeah, I mean, whatever. You know, whatever floats your boat. So I don't think there's anything wrong. What do you all think about Thaddeus Matthews, aka the cussing pastor? Like, what do you all think of him? Like, have you all seen his videos? If you look him over online, a slew of them will come up for you. Like, do you think he's, you know, like, just, like, does he get under your skin? Do you feel like his methods are a little too abstract in order to be helpful, to be helpful, too abstract to be helpful? Or do you feel like he's right on point? So what do you all think of the cussing pastor? What do you all think of David E. Wilson and the cunnilingus or oral sex video? Like, what's going on here? I love to read your comments. I love to hear what's on your mind. Let's get a nice little discussion going. You can hit me up here or social media, email, Whatever you want to do, I am here for you. And with that being said, you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your week as well. And I will talk to you later. Bye.